All right, so I'm going to give you an update. Where are we at? So I did this video here on the 18th, and now we're sitting on the 23rd. I was going to wait until a little later in the week, but I need to get this wrapped up. Basically, I went into these insane pools, 238,000% yield. I went into this one too, 23,000%, 16,000%. And what we were doing was we were basically yield farming on the auto platform. Now, I recently put up a video about auto, giving a more detailed description of exactly what auto is, and I'll link that video above. You can go watch that video and you'll understand what the auto platform is. If you don't know, it's one of the, I think it's a top 3 projects, either number 2 or number 3 right now on the whole Binance ecosystem. I love it, love it, love it. I want to give you an update today. So I'm cashing in on some of this portfolio. Give you a bit of a backstory. I actually took out a loan. It's a good lesson here. I took out a loan. I didn't take out a formal loan. I had a buddy of mine who loaned me some tokens that I was going to use to go into another project. Incidentally, when he loaned me those tokens, they had about a $1,500 value when he loaned me those tokens. And the project I went into, we were both in it, it went to crap. The flip side is the tokens he loaned me went to the moon. They practically 10x, literally, without exaggeration. And so I need to pay him back. And so therefore, I have sold a big chunk of my auto portfolio. Don't worry, I'll be building it back up because I really like this platform. I want to cash this out because this is my risky part. And I want to give you an update. So this is the third update that I did. Ironically, a lot of you said in the last video that I did, if you missed it, I'll link it above. It's short, and you can see that I was down a little bit on that video. And in that video, a lot of you said that you thought I should stay in because the APY was so high. I wanna show you something. Now, I gotta explain this too. I'm still getting questions like, if the APY is so high, how can you lose money? Since there's 2 reasons why you lose money yield farming. And if you don't know what yield farming is, it can be one of the more profitable things to do really in the crypto space. I'll link a video above just to get you caught up on that. What is yield farming? And by the way, yield farming is the same mechanically. It's the same thing in the Ethereum ecosystem or the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. It's the same thing. But there's only 2 ways you lose money yield farming. The first is the underlying tokens go down in value. One or the other can go down in value. They can both go down in value. You're going to lose money. Not necessarily going to lose a whole lot as if you were just holding those tokens individually. You're not going to, you may lose similar amount. The other thing where you can lose more money than if you had actually held the tokens without providing liquidity, meaning you earn liquidity fees, you earn some APY, but you lose even more than the APY, is from something called impermanent loss. And a lot of people still aren't understanding what is impermanent loss. I took the time to do a video on it just so I could explain it. And again, I'll link that video above as well. I'll put it down in the description. So in the description, you're going to see 3 videos. You'll see a video on auto farm. You'll see a video on yield mining or yield farming. And you'll see a video on impermanent loss. If you watch those 3 videos, you're going to pretty much be caught up with the whole yield farming ecosystem. And you're going to understand why even with a high APY, it might not matter. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on investing in high APY projects after doing this experiment right here towards the end of the video. But first, let's just take a look at this. So right now, remember, I put in $400 in each one. I'm at 412. I'm at 393. I'm at 429. So technically, I've made a tiny profit right here. And I will tell you, a couple of days ago, I was actually up a good bit. I was up like probably between $30 to $75 on each one of them. And I was up a good bit. But that's still a long ways from this 80,000 APY. You know, in a few days, I've made $12. What in the world happened? It's impermanent loss. That's what it is. It's impermanent loss because the SBDO values have went up and down, up and down. So I've technically made fees. And if you don't know what SBDO is, or the BDO, if you don't know what these projects are, I'm going to be covering that in a whole nother video. Probably my next video, I've already got it laid out. I got the notes for it. So I'll be covering that in another video explaining that project. It's a really neat project. Impermanent loss, token values going down are the number 1 reason why you're still going to not make this, APY, not even close. So I'll go ahead and tell you what are my final thoughts, yield farming, really high risk projects like this. My thought is don't do it unless you want to help out or support the project. If you like the project, say you love this whole SBDO, BDO concept, And again, I'll be doing that in another video. I'll cover the whole thing, which is a neat concept. And I didn't mind doing this because I kind of didn't mind supporting the project a little bit. That really is the single biggest reason to yield farm such a high risk project, because your risk of impermanent loss is pretty much in line with this APY. So can you make some gains? Yeah. Could you possibly double up your money in some situations pretty quick? Yeah. But are you ever going to get anything close to this? No. Could you possibly lose a lot? Could you lose your whole stack, or 90% of it, or 99% of it in some cases? Yes. Yes. The returns, at least based on this experience, not financial advice, just my observations doing this, the returns are no better than being in, say, WBNB and BUSD. You know, a good project and a stable coin. In yield farming, I talk about the different layers of risk. And the first layer, and you can go watch that video if you want to understand it a little bit better, the first layer of risk or the second layer of risk, I don't know that the returns are necessarily going to be any worse. And in the world of crypto and yield mining, you're going to be as safe as you can be. Now, yield farming, yield mining, whatever you want to call it, is still very high risk. Please understand that. It's still very high risk. I recommend, if you're going to do it in more stable projects. That's really the bottom line, unless there's a new project and you want to help them out. And I can fully understand that. I see projects I like all the time. And if you want to do that, then maybe stick a small amount that you can afford to lose. Not that you're trying to earn a lot on it, but you can afford to lose it. Stick it in the liquidity pool and mine some tokens if you can. All right. Decentralized cryptocurrency equals freedom. And if you believe the same, do me a favor and smash that like button, hit that subscribe button. This is Crypto Wealth. I'm out.